If you're walking into Booksmart expecting something exceedingly fresh on a narrative level, then you may well walk out just slightly disappointed. Personally, however, I did not walk in desiring that or even needing that. From American Graffiti to Dazed and Confused to The Breakfast Club to Ferris Bueller's Day Off to Superbad, I have no problem revisiting this now what I would call archetypal story from a slightly different perspective over and over and over again. After all, when it comes to things that we as humans share, there is something incredibly unifying about the rite of passage that we experience when we move from our parents' house out into the big bad world, from high school onto the next chapter of our lives, from childhood into adulthood. And it's just kind of fun to relive and just revisit that experience through cinema. And so, again, just looking at the narrative beats of Booksmart, we do indeed see director Olivia Wilde and screenwriters Susanna Fogel, Emily Halpern, Sarah Haskins, and Kate Silberman intentionally seeking to reproduce many familiar ones. Those end of high school Hail Mary parties, those desperate, unfulfilled longings for that special someone, longings that must be fulfilled tonight or the world will end, those best friend relationships that are about to be put to the test as those in them realize that they're about to change forever, and of course those heartwarming character arcs and newfound levels of maturity. But what made all of these now classic moments work so well in Booksmart didn't just come from the screenwriter's ability to craft them well on the page. It also came from a really wonderful group of actors. When I think back on my favorite films in this genre, that has always absolutely been an essential ingredient for them. Again, films like American Graffiti or Dazed and Confused, those films would not have been half as memorable as they were without brilliant actors like Richard Dreyfuss and Matthew McConaughey. And can you even imagine a film like Ferris Bueller's Day Off with an actor not quite as charismatic as Matthew Broderick? And the same can absolutely be said for something like Superbad as well. And if you did find yourself liking and laughing at and identifying with either Michael Cera or Jonah Hill in that film, in Booksmart, you'll more than likely adore Beanie Feldstein, who's actually Jonah Hill's little sister, and Kaitlyn Dever. Speaking of the performances, and yes, I do realize that I do find myself repeating this same sentiment every single time that I see a film from an actor turned director, but every single time that I do, it's just so clear that the person behind the camera, the person in charge of guiding those performances, has so clearly been in an actor's shoes before. And here, it was indeed very clear that Olivia Wilde, in her new role, was able to pull from so many of her own experiences as an actress to help guide her performers in this film to uniquely excellent places. But it wasn't just that she got good performances out of them. I thought she also quite expertly threaded the very difficult stylistic and tonal needle, coaching out of her actors performances that, in certain moments, felt very authentic and very real, and in others, appropriately heightened and just fun. But now, I actually saved my very highest praise for this film for last. Looking at something like Superbad, I really watch that film and think, wow, what a phenomenally directed film. What an impressive piece of cinema where the director really showed a mastery over the medium, ensuring that he was using the camera, the lighting, the color, and the music to always immerse me in the film. And to be fair, I shouldn't just pick on Superbad either. Really, when it comes to all of the kind of Judd Apatow-esque comedies, very rarely do they do anything that heightened in the directorial department. They're rather cut and dry meat and potatoes. They just rely on the comedy found in the script and in the actors' performances to really draw us in and keep us engaged throughout the film. But not so with Booksmart and Olivia Wilde's direction. This first-time feature film director was absolutely on fire, so clearly out to demonstrate her brilliance as a visual storyteller in this new position. And she did so, and did so beautifully. There were so many sequences in this film that were appropriately as heightened and as fun and as colorful as a brilliant music video, just sucking me once more into the excitement and heightened importance of something like the last day of school, which is exactly how I, as a high schooler, viewed such things. Just that much intention and creativity was fantastic to see in a genre that so often overlooks it. So even while Booksmart didn't ultimately break that much new ground from a narrative standpoint, Olivia Wilde as a director was still able to breathe so much fun, fresh, and engaging life into it with some excellent direction. All this to say, I will definitely be keeping my eyes on this director as her career progresses. And for all these reasons, I will give the film a 4 out of 5 and a heart. I would still love to know what you guys thought of the film though, so definitely comment below and let me know. And finally, please do subscribe. I'm going to continue to review films and television on this channel, and I would love for you to stay up to date on all of those things. But for now, I'm Chris Hartwell. This is The Heartbeat. Thank you for joining me.